might know who someone is. First, he hid behind the baptismal font and asked the kids, "Who am I?" And they all answered, "Pastor John." Then he stood up and put a paper bag on his head and asked again, "Who am I?" And all the kids said, "Jesus." Once the congregation stopped laughing, he explained that no, he was still Pastor John. Now, it wasn't that there was something about a person with a paper bag on their head that reminded the kids of Jesus. Rather, they knew that since they were in church, and this was the children's message, the point had to be either Jesus or God, if not both. We adults sometimes get into that same habit with familiar Bible stories. Today's parable is a prime example. Our assumption is often that this parable is about the kingdom of heaven, and the master of the story therefore must be God. And for us living in the 21st century in a market-based capitalistic society, it isn't much of a stretch. Of course, those who invest wisely will be praised, those who make money rewarded, and those who do nothing scorned, if not punished. But is that what was intended? Is that how the story would have been heard in Jesus' day? Perhaps not. You see, the people Jesus was talking to were mostly peasants. They worked the land as slaves, servants, or day laborers. It was to this group that Jesus talks about a wealthy master, one wealthy enough to leave what would have been the equivalent of several $millions for his servants to take care of. The first two servants were able to double their master's money. Ever wonder what they did to gain that kind of return? Well, the peasants hearing this story would have had their own ideas of how this might have been achieved, at the expense of peasants like themselves. Perhaps not unlike how we feel about oil companies making huge profits while we're paying $3 a gallon for gas. The question is, are these the ones